Flores. But I guess the guy to talk about when it comes to positives, when it comes to this lineup, is Heliot Ramos.
Fantastic.
What a revelation. Guy's been red hot. Now, Sunday he goes 0 for 4. But, boy, the numbers have been staggering as he went into that game, just blistering the baseball. Now people are talking All-Star. Now, I'm going to say pause a little bit because we got a little ways to go for the All-Star game. But overall, Heliot Ramos, man, stay hot.
Yeah, 2 weeks doesn't make an All-Star. I mean, we need to relax a little. That being said, think about where we were a week ago, right? We got our teeth kicked in by the New York Yankees, and it just felt like their fans took over the stadium. Ironically, the Dodgers fans took over their stadium, and it felt like their homegrown guys just kicked our teeth in. And then they made trades for certain guys like Juan Soto, who you've been, flirting with the last couple of years, and you never seem to snag them. But seeing Ramos do what he's doing right now, 11 for his 26. This is going into Sunday. Right. 11 for 26, 4 homers, 10 RBIs, 6 walks, only 7 strikeouts, and then playing center field, which I know he came up a center fielder, but he hasn't really played center field for the last 3 years in the minor leagues. So I was a little, skeptical seeing him play like center field, big leagues. Like, I don't know. The Giants defense, and we'll get to the team stats overall, haven't been great. He looked fine in center field. Now, it's a small sample, only got a couple of balls over the weekend. But to me, putting him in the leadoff spot and then having him produce the way that he did, Saturday's game was all about him. I mean, the drive early in the game, the home run early in the game, I mean, he helped put them away and gave the Giants an opportunity as the bullpen holds it down. Ramos has been outstanding. And to me, it's not just what the at-bats look like, because he's hitting with runners in scoring position. He's working counts. He isn't striking out, over the top. To me, it's his whole aura in the batter's box, Bonte. He looks like a completely different guy.
Well, I thought Saturday, and I want to give credit to Austin Slater. I know that's not a popular thing around these parts, and I'm going to duck for tomatoes and duck for other objects as I credit Austin Slater here. Saturday, Austin Slater set the tone. Now, I get some tweets. Oh, man, anybody could have stood in the box and drew that walk. Haney wasn't around the zone. Well, you do set the tone with the walk. You get on base for Ramos, and he makes things happen. Then when they do hit when Ramos hits the 2-run home run, another good at-bat by Austin Slater. So you get production from the 1-2 spots in your lineup, the leadoff and the number 2 hole. And I like Ramos in this 2 spot. And leadoff, I'm not mad at him either. He's not a prototypical leadoff hitter, but in the 2 hole, I really, really like his production. He's seeing the ball well. He's getting deep into counts, I should say. Driving up that pitch count from pitchers. He's seeing the ball. He's hitting the other way. He's hitting for power. Yes. I just love everything about him right now. Now, again, too early for all-star stuff, but that's a constant. One of the young guys popping right now, having a big 2-week stretch. But we saw this from Matos, and now he's in Sacramento. So I'm going to hold the horses here. This one looks a little more legit.
It does.
But I'm still going to, hold my breath here as we saw Luis Matos go down to Sacramento after a 2-week stretch and win an NL Player of the Week.
Well, and I think part of, and there's a variety of reasons, but part of why Matos got sent down, they put him in the leadoff spot, and he just got overwhelmed. I mean, he was swinging at everything, and I don't think right now this roster has a leadoff guy. And we could talk about cleanup, and I don't think they have a traditional cleanup either, but one of the things that's plagued them over the last couple of years is not having a consistent, legitimate leadoff hitter. And when you're a leadoff hitter, at least what I'm looking for in a leadoff hitter, can you work the count? Can you swing with 2 strikes? Can you fight it off? Your job as a leadoff hitter is to not just set the table and get on base. That's the obvious. It's to allow other people in the lineup to see the repertoire of that particular pitcher that you're going up against that day. If you can have a 5, 6, 7 pitch at bat to start the game, A, you're working that guy. That's number 1. And B, you're allowing everyone else in that lineup to see what a guy has. Hey, let's see his breaking ball. Let's see where his secondary and third pitches are. Like, those are the things that I'm looking for a leadoff hitter. And so as you bring up Ramos, I'm saying, like, I like him in the 2 hole. They had him in the leadoff spot. I don't love it, but they don't have a leadoff guy right now, B. Like,
they don't have a lot of options there, and that's the problem with Jung-Hoo Lee being out and finding a leadoff hitter. Look, there's so many holes in this lineup, so many holes in this rotation, but out for the most part, you get a great bullpen game Saturday. Spencer Howard, stand up. Spencer Howard, who had that on their bingo card? Only allowed 1 run in the bullpen. Bullpen did their thing. They did their thing Friday when I thought Logan Webb, look, he was dealing. What was he at? 92, 94 pitches? I would have trotted him back out there for the 8th inning. Hey, leave the bullpen alone. You already got a lot of usage, and we're not even in mid-June yet. and he took the ball from Logan Webb. It did bother me a little bit because he's a bulldog. I thought he could have got the 8th inning, but you go to the pin. Rogers, Duvall shut it down Friday night. You win 5-2. All right, cool. We could nitpick about Logan Webb not going out there for the 8th inning, but I thought that was a big boy start. So you're able to preserve the bullpen at most there. Look, the pin is fine, but there's so many little things here where I'm looking at the league as a whole, and the problem with having that third wild card is that everybody's in it.
Yeah, I know.
So now I don't know who's going to be buying. Now I don't know who's going to be selling. The Mets are in it. I mean, the Blue Jays are in it.
It's basically the Rockies and the Marlins feel like the only two teams that aren't in it in the National League.
And then in the American League, there's the White Sox.
Yes. Ooh, they finally snapped their streak.
They're so damn bad.
They're so bad.
They're so bad. Luis Roberts batting 188, by the way. Luis Roberts Jr. batting 188.
You know, so back to Logan Webb, because I do want to get to the just the team as a whole. We're about 65, 70 games in. Logan Webb Friday night, and it's very difficult to quantify, but you could tell he had the best stuff he's had in a while. The ball was biting on both sides. He was hitting all of his corners. He just looked like he had that late life movement that is that's the norm for him when he's rolling. Right now, he leads Major League Baseball. Now, Glasnow's right next to him, Tyler Glasnow, and you know how this season goes. You gotta get to the end. But right now, both guys, 86 innings pitched, basically leading baseball. Logan Webb is in the amount of innings pitched. He's a real throwback player. And when I think about what the whole league is right now, it's so many arm injuries across the board. Why? Guys are throwing max velo, and we'll get to Keaton Wynn in a second. And everything's about maxing out. And how many times can I max out for 100 pitches? And I look at Logan Webb, and to your point, he's not a guy that maxes out. I did want to see him go another inning or two. Now, that's just the old school baseball guy in me. And I'm with you. Weren't you thinking, like, don't take him out? Because I'm looking at the dugout for the Rangers, and I'm saying, you know what they want? You to hand the ball to someone else right now.
No, I'm with you there. And I'm just the thought process of you've used your bullpen the second most in Major League Baseball. I mean, let's not go to we don't need to use the phone today in the dugout. Logan Webb's dealing. Let's put the phone down. Let's not dial up the bullpen's number and say, hey, Tyler Rogers, go heat up. Camilo Duvall, go heat up. This is Logan Webb's game. Let him go out there and win it. The Rangers don't want to see anybody else.
No.
So, look, you were able to get away with it in the win. You improved to 5-10 when Logan Webb starts. It was a much-needed start for him. The Giants ended up winning 3 in a row after winning Saturday's game. But then now you got Keaton Wynn. So now you got to figure out with the starting rotation who's who. Like, because I don't know if you could get an arm right now because everybody's looking for an arm.
Bonte, I've been going down some of the, just like the rabbit hole of the numbers right now. I don't think Giants fans want to hear it about Kyle Harrison because he's so young. Like, I do want to be, realistic. It's a big start for him. I mean, we've said that probably 4 or 5 times in a row. But B, like, if you just look at the top 40 in terms of worst in baseball for starters, ERA, earned runs, hits, walks. Harrison's leading a lot of these categories, and he needs a big start here. It seems like, and I would say that he's actually pitched better than what that data tells you, because, dude, he's given up a lot of hits. He's given up a lot of walks. It's not good right now. It's just not we could cape up and say, hey, he's 22. He's a young guy. It's his first time, in the big, like, all those things are real. And I'm being graceful, but B, he's got to pitch better. And it sucks because this goes back to having holes in the rotation. Now you're asking a 22-year-old in his first full season, hey, here's the ball. I need you to go 6.
Yeah.
It's just really difficult.
Well, he's got to do that. And Arizona they took it to the Padres yesterday after getting smoked Saturday night. The D-backs had a bullpen game yesterday, I believe, against the San Diego Padres down at Petco Park. Look, Kyle Harrison, there's no doubt you need 6. You need to limit the damage when it comes to walks and hits and just strike out some guys. He does not look electric right now. Maybe he's hitting the rookie wall right now in June. He hasn't pitched this many. That's the problem here moving forward with the rotation. I hear people who want to say, we need a starter, which is sad because kind of reminds you of the Niners and the defensive line problem. The Niners had traded for defensive linemen, whether it's Randy Gregory or Chase Young, to help Nick Bosa, and it still wasn't enough. You signed Javon Hargraves in the offseason. It still wasn't enough. Now look at the starting rotation with the Giants. You pay Blake Snell. You trade for Robbie Ray. You're waiting on Alex Cobb. All right, you wait on you signed Jordan Hicks. Now I worry about him with his inning allocation. Where's he going to be at? Is he going to be in the bullpen for the last 3 months? Where's he going to be at with his right arm when it comes to July, August as a starting pitcher? He's never done this before, folks. Never done it before. Blake Snell, we have no idea where he's going to be at. Keaton Wynn, he was treating the opposite direction before he got hurt, and you see what he did yesterday, just didn't have it. I'm not sure he's going to have it all season long. Maybe he's a candidate to go to the bullpen. I mean, how many arms can I go by?
I mean, like Keaton Wynn, 3.18 ERA in his first 6 starts. Now, his last 4, before the injury and after the injury, he's 0-4 with a 17 ERA. He's given up 24 earned runs over just 12 innings. And his velocity, this is a guy who was a quote-unquote high velo guy. He was like high 90s. Now he's down to mid-90s. He says in the postgame that, I didn't really trust my arm to go max out, and I'm a max out guy. Is he not ready?
Well, if he's not ready to go, then he doesn't need to pitch.
But
I mean, that's just unacceptable. That's unacceptable.
But I think they don't have any arms.
That's unacceptable.
I think they're running out. And I'm looking at baseball just as a whole, and I'm saying to myself, every team in baseball now saying, hey, we probably need 11 starters to get through the year. 12, maybe 13 starters. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And there's not enough.
No, and so
starting pitchers like offensive linemen in football, you just can't have enough.
Not enough. And Keaton Wynn right now, I think he's right now he's teetering. I think the guy might go back on the DL at some point. If you're telling me in the postgame, I didn't trust my arm to go full out, that's not good. And the results weren't good, obviously.
No,
and you hit the first guy of the game.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
And I don't care if you're in Little League or high school, college, or the pros. You hit the first guy of the game.
I mean,
on the first pitch. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it either. I've never seen that before.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
As I was going back and forth,
the game?
Look, I got that on, right? And I'm streaming that one on my phone, or excuse me, the laptop, and I got Alcaraz on the screen. And then I was like, oh, it's going to be a long day. Right. When I saw that, I was like, this game might be over in a heartbeat. And next thing you know, Wyatt Langford gets a single. They still home. Garcia stills home. Not sure where Patrick Bailey was on that play. The wherewithal. You got to pay attention.
First and third. That is Little League. First and third situations.
The whole inning was Little League.
It just...
But you know what?
Sorry, it frustrates me.
No, Bo, yesterday's game, I'm not going to lie to you, even though they gave up 3 spot in the first inning, they gave up 2 it was 5-0 after the second inning, and I was like, all right, you got the job done. You won the series. You won 2 out of 3. But when I saw that lineup trotted out before the game, and I saw Ramos, Bailey, Flores in the 3 spot, Conforto 4th, Estrada 5th, and then I looked at the bottom, I see Yaz, Wisely, Schmidt, and Brooks. I said, oh, this is going to be a long day. This is going to be a long day. You telling me Soler can't play yesterday?
Poor guy Trenton Brooks. I mean, he's not a big league.
Jorge Soler should be able to be in this lineup every single day. I pay him to be in the lineup every single day. You had the day off on Thursday. All right? So don't tell me that he's tired. You had the day off on Thursday. You can't give me that thump in the middle of the lineup. That's what I paid him for.
Well, and it's not like your legs are tired. You're not playing defense.
No,
and you're certainly not running around the bases if you look at his stats. The guy's got to get to first base before he can start running. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being realistic here.
He can't play yesterday? Jorge Soler can't suit up, so anyway, he doesn't play. You look at the bottom of the lineup now. Yaz did hit you the solo home run.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah, Yaz has been fine. Yaz is a low 200 hitter who's going to step into one every now and then. Like him and Slater, everyone's triggered, and I get it. But you're getting the Ramos. I'm getting Ramos, so I'm not going to lose my mind over Yaz and Slater
right now.
Yeah, no,
he's the one guy who's popping outside of Patrick Bailey,
no doubt. But the reality is Conforto's got to wake up. Conforto, I think, is 2 for 22 since returning from an injury.
He had a hat trick yesterday, 3 strikeouts.
He just doesn't look right. There's a lot to look at when you're looking at the offense and the pitching that leaves a lot to be desired. They're a middle-of-the-pack hitting team, just as a whole, when it comes to batting average, home runs, OPS, whatever numbers you want to throw, middle of the pack. You look at their pitching as a whole, Bonte, pitching, they are bottom 3rd in just about every single category. That's starters and bullpen. And there are some alarming trends right now. Like Brett Wisely was red hot. Now he's 2 for his last 19 in June.
Now he might be going back to Sacramento his last 7 days, batting 182. 182 his last 7 days. Some of these averages over the last 7. Now, Casey Smith's batting 286, but look at Estrada, 227. Look at Yaz, 222.
Well, what about Bailey?
I mean, look at Bailey,
Bailey's
188.
4 for 23.
Yeah, Bailey over his last 7 days batting 188.
Nobody wants to admit that. Like, I'm worried about Bailey's bat.
Yeah, no doubt. Soler in his last 7 days batting 174. He's got the one jack, the one solo jack. So Ramos has been red hot over his last 7. Hell, going to this Sunday's game, he had 39 at bats, batting 410. The OPS is over 1,000. The RBI's 13, 8 walks, 4 jacks. I mean, you got to get hot at some point. So it makes it difficult for a president of baseball operations, Farhad Zaidi, to figure out what the hell you need. You need a little bit of everything. And guess what? The entire league is saying the same thing.
I know.
We need a little bit of everything. So what do you do moving forward here? I think, at least for now, Shasky, over the next couple of weeks, guys just got to play better. Forget talking. I was thinking about making a case for Vlad Jr. today and maybe making a trade. But when you really discuss this team ad nauseum and you break it down in depth, they need a little bit of everything.
Well, I think that one thing is inarguable at this point. They've miscalculated their pitching staff as a whole. You were relying on Tristan Breck, who'd never logged 150 innings. And I like Tristan, but he hurt. And you can say, well, injuries you can't account for. Yes, you can in baseball now. We know it. You're going to lose 2 or 3 starters no matter what team you are in baseball. Keaton Winn and Tristan Beck, and you're relying on Harrison, who's never logged more than 100 and something innings. Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks is about to eclipse a career high.
He's
going to eclipse a career high this week.
He's top 30 right now in Major League Baseball starters for innings logged. Right? So you've already squeezed the lemon on him. You know what I mean? Like,